Welcome back to Granja Caimito in the Pedroche Valley of Andalusia, Spain. You see us there in the red circle, and to the left, the water reservoir called Buenas Hierbas. Let's see how the sheep did. The area looks pretty different by now. They have trampled, but also eaten a lot more. And this part here in front of the fence is also looking a lot lighter than it was before. And here in the distance there's also definitely a good change. They're also a lot less frightened by now, which helps that they actually do their job. Let's see how it looks over there. Yes, this is also looking good. And tomorrow this needs to be changed. I can hear Mr. Cat. He is somewhere there, but he cannot get any closer because this will also send him a message that he cannot pass. But this is good, and by tomorrow the fence will be moved to include another area and then change completely. So the idea is to let them do their job around the trees, and in a few days they will then be out again, and the maintenance here in this wannabe food forest has been done without using human labor and without using machines that use fuel. Of course, electric would be fine, but then there's human labor, so it's better to feed animals and the soil and have it done the way Mother Nature intended it is to be done. So I'm very happy with the result. So there's Mr. Cat. He is not really confined to quarters. He can leave on all the other sides. The only thing is he cannot come here because there is the electric fence. But on all the other sides he can leave as he pleases. So there's no problem. But it looks like he had an accident. The left foreleg, there he has a problem. But he is a free roaming cat, so it's not the same thing as a house cat. I'm sorry for him. But the dogs have the same problem. It takes a few days and then this will work again. With all the rain, a lot of places now have a jungle feeling, which is very nice. But then of course I know how a real jungle is. I have been living in Panama before for 10 years, and of course there is an actual rainforest, and that is not the very same thing. But it is nice to see how all the vegetation comes up. Lots of rain and sunshine in between helps all this come along. This is the view back. I just walked there and it looks pretty sick. And this is how it looks like from the top. There's a lot of clover and all the other forage plants. So this is good. And over there they have spotted me. Looks like they have finished their ration and are asking for a new place. And I can actually walk over there and provide them one, because there's another sector of the paddock where they are that I can open. Every time they are done, they will then come out and look for another place and then they will graze a little bit along the animal path and maybe find another open paddock, and that is how it works. Well, these guys just came running and I'm wondering why, because those are new cows that the bad neighbor brought in. Something is going on, I'm not informed, but he took away the old ones and they, for some reason, came running. Okay, so now my cows are asking, and I should go there and give the customer what he's asking for. So, yeah, Mr. Bull, this is the new one. Let's go there. Hey, isn't that nice? That you can actually talk to your bulls. So, here's another one who also understands what we're up to. Yeah, scary big animals. Yeah, come. Ah. So, a few hand signs, he understands. So, in we go again. Yes, you should come in here. Come on. So, let's have a look. This was the first sector this morning, and this is how they left it. They don't like to eat the brassicas. We talked about kind of forcing them by fencing them in so that they have to trample it, because they leave it like that, which is not what we want. So, here are all the kids. She's demanding. But I would guess it's not so much grass, it's alfalfa pellets. Not today. So let's see how it looks like here. And we come closer to the line. The line is just a few hours old. So here they went in between the brassicas and the other stuff and picked what they like, and ignored the rest. There's still something left. There are grasses. They nibbled on it, but there's more. And here, I remember that when the line here was drawn, they went through here, picked the grasses and ignored the rest, because that is not what they like. And like I said, we might want to enclose this so that they have to trample it. And yeah, because now from the grasses there isn't much left. The result is that they now demand more. So I will now remove the electricity from this and open on one end so that they can pass in, and then I will give them the whole area here for the night, and tomorrow morning they have a different job. So, first customers. Now everybody is moving. Oh, it's kind of confirmation. And as last year, the other ones over there, they are unhappy. Because they can only watch. The little ones run around as they like, but I explained this earlier. They jump the poly wire as they like. There's nothing that can be done except installing the wire mesh, and that will follow once we step by step start with the animal lanes and then some selected paddocks to make everything pig safe, and then also it will be small ruminant safe, and then we can step up the game. So these are the last ones. Some are very happy. Here and there they make a happy dance. And so now they can work on this part. The plan is to divide this paddock into two to make management a little bit easier. We won't use those wooden fence posts here, but instead use the metal ones and just make a line in the center of this, and then either create a separate door or gate there, or use the existing gate and do something simple so that we can send them left or right. We will see how we are going to play this, but I want this to be simple, because eventually these paddocks, this one I think is 6,000 and something square meters big. That's not so big, but it's a bit too big for this size of herd. And even when the little ones have grown, the impact is still less than when they are all bunched up, and bunching up requires human labor. And if I think about the pigs later on, smaller packers are also better, because then we can move the pigs faster and also reseed or let the area come up again by itself. So smaller seems a lot better than very large paddocks, which then later we will call zone and mention the role of the zone. So paddock is then a role. It gets all organized step by step. And these guys over there, they will stay there for a while, I think, until they have realized that there is no way to come here. The continuous grazing there does not provide the same amount of forage as we have on our side, but we know that already. This here, by the way, is the former road, and you won't believe me that this used to be a road, but it went through here. The little ones have also started to eat grass and graze. When they're a little bit bigger, like this guy here, they also start to contribute their share. And I say contribute, also the guy is eating. It's what comes out at the end. That is the contribution. Look over here. They are all at it, which is very nice. They are waiting next to the gate, because we have been training them to not be at the gate, so that we don't have trouble coming in and out with the vehicle. Here we have another grazing animal. Not so much. Let's talk about something pretty technical. This aerial image shows our zone CT1, where the pigs have been between November 2021 and January 2022. They uprooted the soil and destroyed all the plants that were there. Then we observed a miracle and saw a lot of new and good forage emerge out of nowhere, which allowed us to graze in this area 2 times since then. The whole area of CT1 is pretty much 4 hectares in size. Now that we have the mules and seed available, we want to bring in something new here. As you can see, there are a few empty spots. Above the larger red line, that is either because nothing grew or because we have a lot of straw in a particular spot. The marked area below is the gully where water used to leave the area. We plan to take care of the gully over summer, so that is not yet a concern for the moment. In the area between swale and red line, we plan to use the mules to do a one-time tillage, and then seed a mix of corn and sunflowers together. There is seed in the soil, as we now know, and so I don't think it is necessary to make a seed mix with a lot of species at this time. We also might need to do some terrain shaping as we eventually build our small zones and an animal lane in there. I should also mention that we will continue to work with many pigs going forward, and so there will be many opportunities to seed a great variety of plant species every year. This is just the beginning. Let me show you also this image of CT2 where the mules have already tilled. You can see very well a large wet spot. It has been wet even before the swale above it was dug. It also seems to fit the pond in the lower swale. The seed for this area has arrived, and you'll see us bringing it out in the next video. I can now disclose what it is. Above the swale, left corner in the image, we will seed Sudan grass. It does not seem to require a lot of water, and so that area seems suitable for that experiment. In the remaining area we will seed Crotalaria hunkea, which in English is called sun hemp. Once the sun hemp has grown, We will then use it as summer forage and strip graze from the animal lane, right, to the fence in the west. That way, the drier areas will be grazed off first. Because of the tillage and the additional biomass from the plant residue and the manure, we hope that with the autumn rains, the seed bank will open and we will see a similar development as in CT1 below. We've also measured the whole area. It is about 22,000 square meters, and we will then divide it in 6 to 8 small zones. So let's have another look at the progress here. It is getting lighter and lighter. Today they also received another piece, which is up here. They already started to reduce the amount of biomass there. We want to use this area very soon also to plant tomatoes. So they clear it up and fertilize it. Seems to be working. Somewhere over there is Mr. Cat. I can't see him, but I can hear him. Let's go and see what he's up to. There he is. Well, his leg is better, so he can walk around normal. That is good. But of course he cannot come closer to me because there's the net. And I would think he has learned what that means. But he's not confined, he can leave on all the other 3 sides, so there's no problem. So I'm also checking on the garlic here that we have planted as another experiment around the bases of these trees. I also went in with the machete on the weekend to cut down a little bit these things as a mulch. And there's a little bit more garlic over there. We definitely need to repeat this and do it for all the trees, because it gives us garlic. And I have to say, this is the garlic from the supermarket. We just planted it And when autumn comes around, this should be done for all the trees. So this here is a very sad discovery. This Paulownia tree was making some good leaves, and then at night the temperatures went down and there was a cold wind, and this is what happened. So this place here is not very suitable for these trees. We definitely need to do this idea of a windbreak, and even if it involves the very same tree, so that we have some sticks up in the air, and maybe then this problem will then be manageable. And the wind comes from over there, and I think I mentioned this already before. The idea is to have a stick every 25 centimeters along this wall, and even if those very same Paulownias in that location suffer a bit, it doesn't matter, because there will be something that is higher than the wall. With some luck, they grow well over summer, and then there is a barrier that deflects the wind. Because this place is wide open, and that's a problem. And now you might ask, why don't you plant something else? Yes, of course. And there are more species that might be more suitable here, but they don't grow as fast as those Paulownias. And that was the idea, to use a very fast growing tree to quickly have some shade here and some additional biomass. So that was the wish. So we will have to see what else we can do. And I would think that this is also the result of the combination of wind and rain, because the last time I was here it did not look like that. The young lamb to the left was born just the day before, right here in the very same location. I would think she's trying to assess the situation with regards to safety.
Que da suelta la botella. ¿Así quieres tú que vaya? ¿O así está dando la vuelta? Allí.
Pues si le da la vuelta, ¿qué? Porque esto no le da la vuelta de otra vez tú.
The idea is to keep them in small spaces for some sort of a mobbing effect, and at the same time deny them access to the leaves of the trees and also the bark of the trees. Unfortunately, a mistake happened and so they escaped. But they can't go far because there is another real fence around this whole area. Well, these sheep are a little bit hard to control. As you can see, they are fully capable of jumping over all these fences, but usually they are just too lazy and won't do it. That was it for today. I believe you will enjoy the images from the rain. Please come back in a few days and see how the story continues. Until then, take care.